Okay, I'm super excited about this update. So the truck has had about 2.5 seasons on it, about a little bit over 20,000 miles on this Dirt King kit. And you've seen it go from the 37s to the 40s. I've gone to multiple places off-road, multiple miles, hundreds of miles off-road in multiple different situations, having a lot of fun with the truck. And I finally felt it was the time to get the shocks valved, serviced and valved for what I've been using the truck for. So I reached out to Kevin over at 𝗙𝗿𝗍, and he was suggested to me by Nick Gardner over at Dirt King. And he said, hey, talk to Kevin, let him know what you're looking at, like what you want to do, what you know, just your thoughts and everything. So I talked to Kevin, really good dude, went over what I felt currently on the truck and what I wanted to change of the feeling of the truck, of performance. And Kevin said, no problem, I got you. So I'm gonna split to another video here that I took with Kevin that explains what he did to the shocks in more detail for a truck like this or any other truck. He says he does a lot of Raptors and a lot of 1500s, you know, anything from like stuff like this all the way to a full blown, you know, caged and linked trucks. So I'm gonna cut to a video that I took with Kevin that better explains what he did to the truck and just kind of give you guys an understanding what he did servicing the shocks and changing the shocks, the valving and what have you. I'm here with Kevin at 𝗙𝗿𝗍, and he's basically going over and telling me everything that he replaced on the truck. So Kevin, what do we got sitting here on this table here?
So this is all your old seals and O-rings that came out of the shocks here. Pulled everything out, cleaned them all, set everything aside for you so you can see what we did.
Yeah, those all got replaced with all new.
Yes, these are all the old ones that came out when we replaced every seal on the shock with new ones.
That's 4 bypasses and 2 coilovers. That is right there.
Exactly. And then a handful, I had the shock support, a handful of the uniballs were pretty bad. So replaced those with new ones. So good for a handful of miles again. When we had them apart and cleaned the shafts, you could see the pitting on some of the shafts. They were pretty bad. So 5 out of the 6 shock shafts we ended up having to replace.
And these really bad ones are the rears.
So these ones here are your front coilovers. And then these ones here are your front bypasses. And then this one here is your one rear bypass. Okay. I had a couple rock dings, probably from the front tires or something.
So the fronts are getting worked pretty good.
Yeah, the fronts were getting pretty hammered as well.
Okay.
And then,
which we'll show later in the video, but we put some covers on the coilovers to help kind of defeat some of that.
Yeah, if you're following someone, the shaft guards help prevent rocks from hitting the shocks and tearing up the coils, CVs, the bypasses, stuff like that.
So we got a bunch of hardware sitting here. This is all my old hardware.
Yeah, so these are all the old bolts. A handful of them some were shanked, some were not shanked properly, but they were just dry. And you know, when I put stuff back together for people, I prefer to use new hardware, and I use all 12-point nuts and bolts. I cut everything down so it's properly shanked. There's not a ton of threads hanging out. We coat all the bolts in anti-seize. He's locked tight on the nuts. Just make sure everything's fresh and tight and torqued and torque striped and everything, so it's, you know, good for another 20,000 miles or whatever.
Can you explain for some that don't understand what shanked means, properly shanked?
Yes. So basically what happens is when this bolt is passing through, let's say this space, this uniball here, and there'd be misalignment, so it'd be wider. The threads will actually start cutting into the mounting tabs and the misalignment spacers. So what we do is we buy a longer bolt similar to this one, and if there were spacers on here in the mounting tabs, you'd see the smooth portion of the bolt called the shank would actually extend past the tabs. So then you have to stack washers. So that way, as you tighten everything down, there's no wiggle room for the threads to cut into anything. The threads are only there for the nut and the washer.
Okay, so properly shanked is the shank of the bolt riding on the misalignment spacer of the shock, and then also the tabs for the mounting of the shock, and then the threads are just protruding on the opposite side of the tabs to properly.
Exactly, and that's why, because the bolts end up so much longer than the ones you have here, which is why we have to cut all the excess threads down. So if you know, when we see the front of the truck now, you'll see all the bolts are kind of raw on the end because I cut them and grind them so they're beveled and chamfered and everything, so they're shorter.
Why don't you go ahead and just tell everyone what you did to the front of this truck?
So we pulled all the shocks off, pull the front tire off, pull all the shocks off. Obviously pulled all the shocks apart, rebuilt them all, new seals, new oil, new nitrogen, Went ahead and did all new valving based on the shock package he has, the kit, you know, the weight of the truck, the way the truck's set up. We also added these shaft guards to help protect, so these shafts should last a little bit longer than the other ones did. While we had everything apart, you can see the new hardware, all 12 points, torque striped on both ends. There's new hardware up here as well. The top hat bolt got changed out, so literally every bolt that we pulled off this truck got replaced. All of the hose clamps were long, they had excess tails, so we install them, mark them, take them back off, cut them down, round out the edges, and put them back on so they're just the right length for everything. And then yeah, just while we have the shocks off, we ballpark set all the tube settings, so it should be a better improvement, ride quality for both on the street and out in the dirt when he decides to take the truck back out in the desert.
So everything right now is at a baseline, and then we'll just need to go out and meet up in the dirt, and then
yeah, it'll need fine tuning for sure, just based on your driving style and the terrain you're driving the truck in. But yeah, just doing the service and the revalve on everything is a huge improvement over the factory stuff.
So these shocks probably had about 25,000 miles on it. What was your thought on like how they looked for 25,000 miles?
They were definitely due for service. The oil was roached, the oil was black. Easiest way to explain it to people is like if you're driving your car for 10,000 miles and you kind of wait too long to do an oil change and you go to drain the oil and it's real black and thick and murky, the oil ends up looking exactly the same. It just turns real dark, it gets stinky, and on top of that, as the oil gets it begins to degrade, it'll start tearing out. You'll have problems with the wear bands and the DU bushings, the shaft guide bushings. It'll just kind of start tearing itself apart from the inside. So it was at a good point. You brought them at the right time where all the wear bands were still good, the DU bushings were good. It needed some shafts and some fresh seals and oil.
Okay, so the next step now that I've got the truck back is to take it down to Dirt King, and I'm gonna have them go through the whole truck. As you can see here, the truck does rub a little bit at full compression. And again, that's part of the reason why I thought maybe it might be great to get the shocks serviced and get them changed of some valving internally to, you know, help out with that very, you know, bottom out scenario with the shocks and everything. So what we're gonna do after it goes to Dirt King and have Dirt King go through all the truck, the ball joints, the wheel bearings, just everything serviceable on the truck, is we're gonna meet up with Kevin out in the desert, and we're gonna do some shock tuning and basically figure out if there's any modifications that he needs to make to the valving or just to the settings of the shocks. So hopefully we'll be following up with that shortly, and before it gets too hot out in the desert, and let you guys know how that all works out. If you guys have any questions, as always, feel free to hit me up. I'll do the best I can to help you out with all your questions if you're looking to build a truck like this or anything similar to it.